And we are live. That is right. Out of respect to 2 Cents Boxing. If you haven't done it, go check her out. If you like her, subscribe to her. If you don't like it, still subscribe to it. Write your hate comments. Because all views are good views, whether they good or bad. Out of respect to her, I kept delaying because she shouted out my channel. So only right that I will wait for her to in her live. Now, with that being said, the first fight of the night that I want to talk about is what's coming up. We have Virgil Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin. And I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I want to see Lubin win this fight. I 1,000,000% want to see Lubin win this fight. I am not convinced about Virgil Ortiz. But before we get into that, let's do the little bit of the tell of the tape. So we got Virgil Ortiz. He's 5'10", and he's got a 70-inch reach. He is the shorter of the two. Erickson Lubin is 5'11", 1 inch taller, with a 74.5-inch reach, which means he's got about per each arm about 2 1/4 at the end of his knuckles. By the way, I will be dropping a link in just a moment. We're just going over the tell of the tape if anybody wants to hop on the panel and talk about his fight. But I'm just not convinced that Virgil Ortiz is the goods that they claim. Hey, appreciate it, big dog Willie. Through the $2 super, even though I don't ask for them. I forgot that was even turned on, big dog. So I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm gonna drop the link in a minute so you can hop on if you want to. But this is the thing about Virgil Ortiz, right? Virgil Ortiz is made out as if he's already been a champion. He ain't never even fought for a real belt. Um, Interim's cool and all, but when he had his chance to fight Terrence Crawford, he didn't take it. When he could have fought other champions at 147, he didn't take it. Then he had Rabdo. We know that came more than once. I'm not going to get into the conspiracies around that, but he moved up to 154, where we've seen him fight at. And to me, he hasn't looked that impressive. In fact, I believe he should have already had a loss on his record because Bokachuk beat him, and Bokachuk was robbed. Now, Erickson Lubin on his record, he actually has 2 losses. And this is why I believe Team Ortiz picked Lubin. It ain't got nothing to do about what they were saying, oh, they're picking the best. No, they're not. Because if you wanted to fight one of the best, you'd be going for one of the other champions. A very easy fight to make, which would have done bigger numbers, would be somebody like Xander Zayas. That would have done bigger. Or you could have gone after Fundora. But here's the deal. The reason why they're picking Erickson Lubin is because of his 2 losses. We know Charlo got him out of there in the first round. And then whenever he was fighting Fundora, they stopped it in the 9th round because his head was so swollen. So Fundora didn't technically stop him. The referee stopped the fight due to damage, but Lubin was looking bad. So what they're going off of is he's been stopped twice. Ortiz is an alleged power puncher. I don't think he hits that hard. I think his power is greatly overrated. And it's people really that he's been stopping is on a lower tier. So we're going to see. But that's what they're going for. They're going after a guy who's been stopped twice. They think they're going to stop him. They think they're going to bring the pressure. To me, Ortiz is very slow. He's a come forward, plotting fighter. Yes, he'll use angles, but he's very slow. So what Lubin needs to do is use his reach, use his power. Big dog, I'll get into that in just a moment, and then I'm going to drop the link. This is just my little monologue before we start off the panel. Ortiz is very slow, in my opinion. Like I said, he plots forward. He looks for the counter punching. He's a good counter puncher. Don't get me wrong. Very good. But what Lubin's got to do is stick and move, keep him at the end of his punches, and get him down the stretch. We know Lubin has a great gas tank, and we have seen Ortiz run out of gas more than once. Apply the pressure. Keep him at the end of your punches. Don't let him set. Don't let him sit still. Always keep something in his face. Always keep him thinking and always keep him moving and try to get him tired. When a fighter is tired, they lose their power. When a fighter is tired, they lose their speed. Ortiz, hands are decent, feet are slow. So it's going to be even worse for Ortiz if he gets tired and Lubin can really move around that ring. Lubin is a PBC fighter. Ortiz is a golden boy. We see this time and time again. PBC, they have Golden Boy's number for whatever reason. Every time them Golden Boy fighters go up against the PBC fighters, they lose. And then Mayweather comes out of nowhere and shoots some sniper shots at Oscar. But I'm gonna drop the link. I want Lubin to win the fight. I don't know if he will win the fight. I really don't know. The thing about Lubin is he's coming off some good wins, but not against the best competition. But at least the last two guys that he beat were undefeated. Whereas, in my opinion, Virgil in his last two fights should be coming off of a loss. And then he looked good against Israel Mazmadov. He looked really good against Mazmadov. But I've always said, I don't think Mazmadov is that good. People are just making Mazmadov to be good because of what he did against Terrence Crawford. And, I mean, Israel caused Crawford a lot of issues. A lot more than Canelo did, surprisingly. But Israel just got beat up and sunned by Virgil. That is by far Virgil's best win against a guy, though, I don't think is that good. I think he's overrated because of one fight that he lost in, even though I thought that fight was a draw against Crawford. Now, Bokachuk, on the other hand, he was beating Ortiz up. Ortiz didn't look good against the power punch. And so if Lubin has enough power to hurt Ortiz and to back Ortiz up and to keep him on the defense and keep him at the end of the punch, I do think this is a fight that Erickson Lubin could win. But again, when you want to put your money on a fight, here's what you got to look at. And unfortunately, this is the fact of boxing. Boxing is a business. They say that so much. It is a business. And in the business of boxing, the fighter that wins doesn't always win. So if it goes down to a decision, I don't see Erickson Lubin being able to get that decision. I really don't, especially being in Virgil's backyard, fighting on his card, his promotion. It's just too many things against him. The only way Erickson Lubin's going to get his win is if he makes it so one-sided, it's undeniable, or he can knock him out. Now, the good thing I will say about Virgil Ortiz is I've never really seen him seriously hurt. I have seen him stunned. I have seen him knocked off balance, but I've never seen him like on clear street. I've never seen him truly where it looked like the fight was going to be stopped. But that's what Lubin's got to do, in my opinion. You got a fighter who every time he stepped up to the championship level lost, the two times that he did. And yes, he's a top 10 competitor. He's more in that range of gatekeeping, which isn't good when it comes to the business of boxing. He's young, respectively. He's young. Lubin seems like he should be an old fighter because of all the damn fights that he's been in. And by all the fights, I mean the big notoriety fights he's been in. But the dude's only 30 years old. So, if anything, how fighters look to be now, 30 is around that prime when you getting into your best. In his last three, actually, I want to say the last 2 or 3 fights that he's been in, he stopped 2 people. So maybe he's actually hitting his stride. But again, I always get fearful for fighters. And I make so many videos about robberies. And I know I've been gone. And I know I missed a prime opportunity to make a video with Joseph Parker against Wardley. But I don't think it was a robbery or a bad stoppage. I might get into that before this is up. I watched the replays numerous times. I'm not living in the moment. And even in the moment, I was like, I don't think it's a bad stoppage with Parker. But y'all know, regardless of the fighter that I pick to win, if my fighter wins and I feel like it's a robbery, I'm going to shout it's a robbery, even if my pick is right. Because I try to keep this as unbiased as possible. Plus 550 is enticing. Hey, if you do it, do what you can afford to lose. Because I'm telling you, with it being in Ortiz's backyard, it's going to be a hard fight for him to pull off on the scorecards. Like, he has got to dominate him. And what I mean by domination is He's got to keep Ortiz away from landing because I could see a world where Ortiz gets outlanded, but the judges still give it to Ortiz because they're going to say the better shots landed, the harder shots landed, the more thudding shots landed. And you got to understand, when you in somebody's backyard, every punch they land, the crowd's going to scream. So I'm not saying judges should be swayed by that, but we know how boxing goes. Boxing is one of the most corrupt sports there is, in my opinion. Allegedly. But I do believe Erickson Lubin has the abilities and skills to give Ortiz a run for his money and make it a very hard, taxing fight. I don't think this is going to be a walk in the park, but I could be wrong. Ortiz could pick up where he left off in his last fight, where he looked really good against Israel Masvidal, and maybe he's grown into 154. And because he's grown into the weight now, maybe he stops Lubin early. Maybe he catches him. Maybe Lubin can't take the damage. But based off of the level of competition, Lubin has definitely been in there with better fighters, especially at the weight class. It's just, unfortunately for Lubin, he's always fell short against that better opposition. So it's kind of hard to rate, like, where do we rate your resume when in all your step-up fights you've lost? You know what I mean? Yeah, you have a good resume, but you didn't win. So when I look at losses, losing to a Fundora by the referee stepping in or losing to a Charlo at the time that he lost to Charlo is a much better loss than losing to Bokachuk and getting the rivalry victory on the scorecards. That's all I'm saying. Because Ortiz lost that fight. Nobody going to convince me different. I don't care what BoxRec says. I don't care what the history book says. I watched the fight. I saw the fight. I know the fight. I judged the fight. I scored the fight. I paid attention to the fight. And he did not win that fight. But I digress. This is for the interim WBC title? Because they got a special edition belt that they made, like the WBC always does, with the skulls on it. But what do y'all think in the chat? Who do y'all think wins? I want Lubin to win, but I think Ortiz will more than likely pull it off. It's always scary with a fighter that has losses at the highest level and no wins, because you never really know what fighter is going to show up. Is it going to show up to win, or is it going to show up for a paycheck? So it always makes me a little iffy and scared to put my money on a big-time underdog without a lot of money backing him. But if Lubin comes to win, it's going to be a very hard fight for Ortiz, in my opinion. I don't think this is a walk in the park. I think this is going to be, on paper, the best fighter that Ortiz has ever fought. And I've always liked Erickson Lubin. I've liked him for a long time, so I want to see him do good. Virgil Ortiz, I ain't got nothing against him. I don't see what other people see, and the link is there. If anybody wants to come on here and tell me how I'm wrong and how Virgil Ortiz is that dude, even though I don't see it, and even though he's avoided all challenges that could have proven that he was that guy, come correct me. Correct me where I'm wrong. But I don't think I am. But moving on from that fight, we're going to talk about the Hanos clan, Devin, the Dream Haney, against Brian Norman Jr. Now, here's what I will tell y'all. I've already seen excuses out there. People talking about Brian's shorter. He's actually the smaller guy. Devin's way bigger than him. The fight ain't even happened. And there's already excuses. Devin too big for him, even though Devin the smaller guy moving up. And by smaller, I mean for the smaller weight classes. Because we all know Devin can drain himself to get really small weights. So naturally, he's much bigger than Brian Norman Jr. He's much bigger than him. They're not even comparable in size. By the way, hit the thumbs up, please, if you're listening. You like what you're listening to. That way we get higher up in the algorithm so we can get more people in here. Because these impromptu lives, I rarely ever do. These boxing videos, I have not been dropping a lot. I don't know. Sometimes you just need a break. but I might be coming back from my break. Tomorrow I might do this. Oh, real fast while I'm thinking about it. Then we'll get back to the Norman versus Haney fight. Shout out to Rashidi Ellis. He won again. Speedy Rashidi. Always been my favorite 147-pound fighter. You know, he was robbed against Roman Villa. I made a video about it. And it's good to see that he's been active this year. 3 fights, 3 wins. He's got stoppages going on. So I just hope he stays active. I hope he gets in the rankings. And I hope at 147 he actually gets a big fight and can redeem that loss that he had. Actually, he might be at 154 now. I think I'm tripping. I think he moved up. Let me confirm Rashidi because he fought Fundora, but I think it was at 158. Hold on. I mean 154. Why did I say 8? Gosh damn, my brain's going bad. Wasn't it? Yeah, it was. It was at 154. So he's moved up now. His first 2 fights of the year was at 147, but now he's at 154. I don't know if he's going to stay there, but he completely dominated Javier Fortuna and stopped him in the 4th round. So shout out to Speedy Rashidi. Still, my favorite guy, probably now going to be my favorite guy at 154. Was it the body shot or did... What are you talking about? Are you talking about the Speedy Rashidi? I'm waiting for your comment before I continue. And then we're going to get into the Norman. My bad. I was waiting for... Yeah, it was like what did he hit him with? A left hook to the body? That's what it was. You know, he was beating him up the whole fight. Like, he dropped him with that body shot. And yeah. But I just want to see him stay active and not be like whenever he fought Roman Villa, where he only had 1 fight in like 2-3 years, something crazy, because he was going through all that promotional issues with Golden Boy, and then all the bullshit happened with PBC. Hey, you know, when you know you're outclassed, sometimes you just look for a way out. We just seen that in the UFC with Tom Aspinall, where he was getting beat up. I ain't gonna lie, he got poked in the eye, but he wanted a way out. I never been poked in my eyes like that, so I don't know. But I felt like Game was winning that fight, and I don't even like UFC. But hey, they was using their hands, and he was getting beat up. Which tells me, I will say this real fast, and then we'll get back to the topic at hand. John Jones would destroy Tom Aspinall. I know we could all say that Jones ducked him, been ducking him, was ducking him. But if anything you saw in that fight against Game or Gone, however you say his name, that Aspinall stands no chance against John Jones. Zero chance against John Jones. John Jones beat Game Gone in what? Like a minute, 2 minutes? Scooped him up, put him down with ease, and it was over. It wasn't even a fight. What's going on, Virtuoso? If you want to, you can hop on the panel. It is open. What's good, Tony? Who you got for these 2 fights? So I just got into the Haney fight against Brian Norman Jr., but I want to see Erickson Lubin win. I don't know that he will. I mean, like I said, backyard fighter, don't have a lot of money behind you. More than likely, no matter what, if it goes to the scorecards, Virgil going to walk away with that win. Even if Lubin wins, he loses. That's what I'm saying. But I want to see Erickson Lubin win because I do not believe the hype about Virgil Ortiz. I think Virgil Ortiz is not that good. I think he's very basic. I think he's overhyped. He ain't done nothing. He's been treated like a champion. He's been treated like the number 1 of a division, which he's never even done or been. So I'm not sold on Virgil Ortiz. I've been saying it for years. I watched Boca Chuck beat him, and he walked away with a victory. So I want to see Lubin win. But I said this earlier, Virtuoso, and I'll say it again. The only reason why Team Ortiz picked this fight is because Lubin's been stopped twice. And they're going to think that Ortiz's power can stop Lubin. That's all it is. That's why it's happening. That's why they picked him. Had nothing to do with Lubin being the best. It had to do with the fact that Ortiz is a power puncher, a counter puncher at that, with the power. And Lubin's been stopped twice in the first round and in the ninth round. Even though second time he was stopped, the referee stepped in. But that's why they picked the fight, because they think Ortiz's power is going to stop him because he's been stopped twice. Now, let's do this. Let's go into the Haney. Here, let me drop the link again in case Virtuoso wants to hop on here. Look, man, I'm going to just be honest. I don't think Brian Norman Jr. can beat Devin Haney. I don't think he stands a chance. I think it's going to be an easy fight for Devin Haney as long as Devin Haney doesn't do exchanges. If Devin Haney steps in the pocket and tries to exchange with him like he did Ryan Garcia, he's probably going to get knocked out. That's just the plain and simples of it. But if Devin Haney does what people say, oh, he was running, if fights on the back foot, uses the jab, uses his angles, and plays keep away, Brian Norman Jr. ain't beating him. It ain't even going to be a hard fight. It'll be an easy fight. Devin can win this easily as long as Bunny Paws does not try to knock Norman out. If he goes in there and gets in the pocket and tries to knock Norman out, he will get knocked out. Because Norman, unlike Ryan Garcia, is a very good finisher. Ryan's not that good of a finisher. Ryan's good at hitting you and stopping you with a fast punch you don't see. And that's how he wins. But the killer instinct, Ryan don't really have that. Ryan ain't really like a shark. Ryan don't get overly aggressive when he's got you hurt. He just boom, and it's lights out. Lightning fast left hook puts you away. Norman, if he hurts you, he coming for you. And he's not letting off the gas until there's nothing left of you. So, if Haney gets in the pocket, trying to do it against Ryan, he's getting knocked out. However, again, if he fights on that back foot, Brian Norman is going to get schooled. He's going to get embarrassed. He's going to be made to look like he didn't even belong in the ring. That's just how I see it. What's going on, Virtuoso? How you see these two fights?
What's good, Tony? Yeah, I'm kind of like a bit worried about Virgil because like I saw his recent weigh-in where he looks kind of dry at 154, and I'm like, dude, this dude, I don't know, man. Like when that happens, man, there's a possibility that um, a punch can knock you off your equilibrium, and that's possible when you because like, isn't it true that when you lose like a lot of weight like that, you kind of lose that balance. You're not the same. You're not thinking straight. But it really depends on if he's able to get to Lubin and contain and try to apply pressure to him because that's basically his style. That is all he does is come forward and try to brawl. But I think he's more elaborate than that. I don't think he's that like um that much of a brute because like when I saw him fight Madrimov, right? He was very patient with him. He was really trying to like figure out, okay, when is this guy going to settle down so I can start landing my punches? And for me, I don't think Lubin is that elusive because me personally, I'm picking Virgil to win. I want to see what's next, and I'm hearing that Boots is going to be there, but from what I'm hearing from his dad, he don't want that fight, leads me to believe like now I see why he taking this fight because they think Lubin is flawed, but he can surprise you. I'm not sleeping on him, but I just think he's kind of a step backward from who they're supposed to fight, which is Fundora, but he got injured. Now, as far as the fight between Devin Haney and Brian Norman, I'm a bit undecided to be honest with you because one, none of these two guys have faced the quality. Well, I would say more like Brian Norman hasn't faced anyone like Devin Haney, and it's going to be difficult to try to close the gap on this dude because like even if you do, he's going to start clinching. So his best asset for Devin Haney is basically his ability to jab and keep you on the outside because he's an outboxer, and Norman is a boxer puncher. So he's gonna have to, sacrifice some defense and try to, fight through those straight punches. Because I don't see Haney trying to step to him and try to walk him down unless they finally found that power that I've been hearing about for 6 years, right? Ever since the Antonio Moran fight, which is the last time he knocked him out. I'm pretty curious to see what's gonna happen, because hey, this is one of those fights where I'm glad that I don't know who's gonna win. But if I would have picked, if I had an emotional, like, let's say they had an emotional, like I had a dog in this fight, or I had, skin in the game, whatever the fuck, I would pick Brian Norman because I just feel like Brian Norman is a more entertaining fighter, and he's good for the sport. Don't get me wrong, Devin always steps up, but like something about him, like the way his style is, the way he performs, it's like it's not all that entertaining to me, to be honest with you. So I feel like Norman should be able to beat this guy. I don't think he's not perfectly he's not Mayweather esque in terms of defense. He's been hit before, he's been rocked before, and it's gonna be like interesting to see what happens if that happens again. Are we gonna see the same Devin Haney that went through those um adversity against Ryan Garcia? Who knows? But it is an interesting, step up fight, for Brian Norman.
I
I think
just
both these men. I just think that both these men need to make a statement win, and that's how I look at it. And it's
I
really a
just
50-50 fight
I'm
in
gonna
my
be
end.
honest with you. I just don't think Brian Norman has a chance. I don't think he has a shot outside of a punch. That's it. And the only way he's gonna land that punch is if Devin allows it. Um, I think since the Ryan Garcia fight, Devin, and he showed you against Ramirez, is not going to fight dumb anymore. His dad Bill has said it numerous times that
Hmm.
whether it's fan friendly or not, you're not beating Devin if you're shorter than him. And Brian Norman is shorter, way smaller. And I've seen him move,
Hmm.
and I've never been like, yo, Brian Norman is fleet of foot. He's amazing, immaculate at cutting off the ring. I just don't see how he catches a Devin who's jabbing his
Yeah.
head off on the back foot. I just
Right.
don't. And if Devin just jabs him to death and catches him with the occasional straight, and like you said, the minute the gap is closed, just hug his ass. I don't see
Yeah.
what Brian Norman does.
Well, that's why I've heard that he's hired a wrestling coach to sort of deal with that. Because like, if you saw that video of him, in that confrontation he had with Devin, and that bodyguard stepped in the middle, he kind of held his own. Never mind that he kind of, ripped his shirt over him. He kind of held his own, and he kind of maintained, his balance there, and really like he really is strong, you know. And I don't think Devin is ready for that. If that were to take place, if there's going to be a war in the pocket and it's going to be a clinch fest, I don't think Devin is is ready for that kind of strength. To be honest with you, because I don't think Brian Norman is really that small. I don't think so. He's a welterweight, but Devin has always had the size advantage. I can say he has the size advantage here, but not by a lot, bro. This to me, I don't think this is a long shot. Um, we'll see
Virtual.
though.
By the time they get first off, Iceman, the tell of the tape is Devin is 5'9", Brian is 5'8". Devin has a 71-inch reach, Brian has a 72-inch reach. But by the time they get in the ring, Devin is gonna outweigh that dude by at least 20 pounds. At least 20
Mm,
pounds. I've seen Brian Norman Jr. fight. I've seen him before the fight and night of the fight. And he barely looks like he might be like 154, 155 by the time he
right.
rehydrates. He doesn't look like one of them dudes who cuts a lot of weight. He carries a good bit of muscle, but it's not like bulky muscle. He's very lean built. And
Yeah.
Devin, I mean, you gotta understand, Devin was 168 pounds when he was fighting at 135. Devin may walk into this ring 170 plus.
So wait a minute. What is? Tell me the tail of the tape again, because I'm looking at box rec.
Devin should be 5'9" with a 71
Yeah,
inch reach. Brian Norman should be 5'8" with a 72-inch reach.
right. Hmm. Again, not that big of a gap in terms of size, man.
No, and I know people be like, "Oh, you say size, 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 size." Look at what Crawford
Yeah,
did. But here's the thing about Crawford. Crawford
right.
was every bit as big as Canelo by the time he got in the ring with him. So it wasn't like Canelo was fighting Crawford, who was 154 pounds. That dude was
Hmm.
probably 190 fucking pounds by the time he got into the ring with Canelo. Crawford
Yep.
was big as shit against Canelo. Um, the difference here is Devin's going to have a minimum, and I'm assuming we'll see fight night, but I'm almost guaranteeing that Devin's going to be at least 20 pounds heavier in that ring. At least 20 pounds heavier. So you could be a better wrestler. You could train on wrestling, but when I outweigh you by 20 pounds, eventually my weight is going to weigh you down. Eventually, my weight
Mm,
is going to tire you. It doesn't
right.
matter. I'm going to be bigger than you. So
So you think his conditioning can like overcome the added weight? You don't think that's gonna have a compromise on his speed and conditioning?
well, what I'm saying is even
Uh-huh.
if Brian Norman Jr. is a little bit stronger, a little bit better at wrestling, he's not going to get out that clinch. He's going to be tractor beamed. He's going to be deadlocked in that clinch. He's not going to be able to hold with one arm and hit with the free arm. He's not going to be able to maneuver and land uppercuts to the body and the head. I just think he's
Hmm.
going to get grabbed and held, and that's going to be it until they
Yeah,
separate.
because because what that is a stall tactic. I think what Haney does is you're right. He doesn't have a high output, but what he makes up for is lateral movement and trying to take away your best punches.
And the thing is Haney has a lot more heart than Brian Norman Jr. Way more heart.
Hmm. That's an intangible. I don't look at it as a fight of like a battle of heart, but more of ring IQ, Tony. And I think that's where Devin has the advantage, ring IQ.
I think heart plays a big role into it because you got to understand it's one thing to get knocked down and get up, right? Yes, you need
Right.
heart to do that. However, when you are just getting beat to every single punch and you can't land a punch, it takes a drive and a willpower and a lot of heart to continue that fight that you just can't do nothing in. You
Hmm.
got to be able to stay in the fight long enough to do something while being dominated. And
Right.
that can, even if you're not getting hurt, you know what I mean? That can cause for somebody to break down. And I've already seen Brian Norman Jr. break down when it got hard. In my opinion, he quit against Boca Chica. He quit against him because he was on his way to get knocked the fuck out. And he
Hmm.
faked like he was blind. In my opinion, I can't prove it, but I don't believe he was blind. But he looked
Hmm.
for a way out because he knew he was about to get put out. And
Right.
when I look at dudes who look for excuses and way outs the minute that it gets hard, the first time it ever gets hard, I don't think they're going to go far because reverting is a motherfucker. And whenever you pushed against the wall and you in that corner, your true colors always come out. And to me, and it's just like I've said against other fighters, like Ryan Garcia, you saw it against Rolly.
Hmm.
Motherfucker's a quitter. You 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 not you're not gonna get around it. You're just not. It just it is what it is. That's just it's either in you to push through it or it's not. You see some
Yeah.
fighters, it may not be smart. You'll see some fighters who are damn near out cold and they'll keep swinging to their laid flat. You see other fighters who just go down, they don't look hurt, and they don't get back up. Or if they do get back up, they look disinterested in the fight for the rest of the fight. To me, a guy who's already been made to look disinterested, I just don't put no faith in him. I don't put no faith in him. And I know it's only one time, but he's only really been in a bad position one time in his career. And I think Devin is just going to make this dude unfold at the seams. I think he's going to fall the fuck apart the longer the fight goes on, unless he gets lucky and catches him early. Now, if he hits him clean, I think he can knock him out. I definitely believe Brian Norman Jr. can knock him out, but I just don't think Haney's going to make the mistake.
Luck is when skill meets opportunity, bro. I think when people say that, okay, if Devin gets hurt, if he gets knocked down, I mean, it's not. I don't know. I don't believe in lucky shots, but this thing about Devin being impervious to failure, it's like I don't get it. People get knocked down, and I respect Haney for his heart. You're right. He knows how to persevere, but I don't think he has like I don't think he has the punch resistance to really deal with that kind of power. So I think he's gonna play like a safety first kind of fight. I just think he's gonna spoil it. You know.
I don't know because I mean I watched Ryan and it didn't all get counted, but I watched Ryan floor him like 7 times,
Yeah.
and it might have been 5 times. I might be over exaggerating, but there was definitely two extra knockdowns that the referee did not count. And every time Devin got up, he kept fighting. Every time he got up, he kept fighting. Every time he got
Right.
up, he kept fighting to even put shots on Ryan. And that's whenever he was on his last lifeline. It looked like every single time he got dropped, he got up, kept fighting. That's what I'm talking about. It's that in order for Brian Norman Jr. to stop Haney, he's going to have to stop him. Like he's going to have to flatline him because if he wobbles him or puts him down, and Haney can, he will get up and he will keep fighting. The thing with
Mhm.
Brian Norman Jr. is what I'm saying is if he gets embarrassed, you're gonna watch the fight get beat out of him, and it's going to go very quickly. That's my breakdown. I think you're gonna watch the fight get beat out of the dude. You're gonna look at a guy who looks confused, who ain't got no
Right.
answers, and he's not going to want to come back to class for tutoring. He's just going to
Mm.
quit.
Nah, I don't think there's quit in him. I really don't. I think
But he
he's gonna.
already quit,
He.
Virtuoso. He already
I
quit.
know. Listen, we got to get over the Boho Chica fight, bro. This is this is something that I think Brian Norman is gonna take very seriously. Um. Yeah. Uh. If he knocks him down, and he keeps fighting, whatever, man. But yeah, it might go that way where it's like Devin knocks him down, and it might ruin his confidence, but he's gonna have to soldier on. I don't see them throwing the towel or anything like that, bro. Nah, I just don't.
I don't see that either, and I don't think Devin's going to stop him. What I think Devin's going to do is beat the fight out of him. He's just, I'm telling you, he's going to get desperate. He's going to start throwing wild shots. He's not going to set anything up, and it's going to be very lackluster. The more and more he misses, he's going to look like he doesn't want to come in, and he's going to look like he's only looking for a counter shot, and he's going to quit trying to win because again, I don't believe quitters are anything but quitters. It's like I told people whenever they was like, "Oh, Daniel Dubois is going to beat Usyk in a rematch. He's going to beat him in a rematch." I'm like, "Bruh, we've already watched this dude quit." I told people in the first Usyk fight that he was going to quit. Never put your money on a quitter. He quit against Joe Joyce. I don't care about his eye. He fucking quit. He quit against Usyk in the first fight, and he quit again in the second fight. That man laid there, waited for the fight to get waved off, and then jumped up immediately, which tells you he wasn't hurt. Quitters
Right.
only quit. There's no, I don't know what it is. There's something about the mentality. It's just a quitter will always quit. And it don't matter
Mm.
how good they become, how much training they get, how much better they do. Eventually, when somebody is on their level or better than them, they're going to quit. A quitter will always look good against lesser opposition. A quitter will always look good when it's easy. But what a quitter will never do is look good when their back's against the wall, when they're losing, because that's when they quit. And it's like clockwork. I've never seen a quitter in combat ever not quit.
Mm. It's like accepting fate. Like, oh, he is who he is, so already seen enough of him. So there's no room for redemption. that type of thing.
It's not that virtual. So you can get redemption, right? So let me give you a case in point, right?
Right.
There may be the possibility that Brian Norman Jr. gets good enough to where nobody ever makes him get in a bad situation, and he just continues to win. And he may look like the best dude out there. But again, at the end of the day, that only lasts while he is the best guy out there. The minute he's not, he will quit no matter how many wins he gets. That's
Hmm.
my opinion about all quitters. They can redeem themselves by winning, but they will never redeem themselves in a firefight that they're losing.
I don't think it's gonna be a firefight. That's the thing. Like Devin is the best at lateral movement, keeping the distance away with the jab. He has good reflexes, and that dude likes to clinch on the inside. Which, like, I think that's his best bet is inside work, and Devin is not gonna allow that. You know.
But that's what I'm telling you, Virtual. So that's where he's going to quit. When it becomes the fifth, sixth, seventh round, and he hasn't been able to do anything that he trained for, when he hasn't been able to do anything that they thought that they could do, when the plan B, C doesn't work, he's just going to quit. I'm telling you, come
Devin
eight,
Haney's
9, 10
inevitable in
rounds,
your eyes.
Brian Norman will have nothing left. It will be a boring fight from that point forward. I guarantee you, unless he knocks him out early.
60-40. Devin Haney.
You talking about who wins?
Yeah, like no, I'm saying it. I'm saying it. Like it's looking more like from what you're telling me, it's 60-40. You know, it's not a 50-50 fight no more. Because like, okay, you're
I
taking
don't think
away.
it. Yeah, no, I don't even know if it's a 60. Look, like I said, in my opinion, and I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'm right more than
Hmm.
I'm wrong, but I do get them wrong. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah,
I just see if Norman can't get it done with one punch that changes everything,
yeah.
he's not gonna beat him. He's not the better boxer. He's not the better mover. He's not faster. His hands aren't quicker. His
Hmm.
defense isn't as good. His counter punching isn't as good. The only thing he has over Devin is power. Every other thing is in Devin's favor. He's not the bigger guy, even though he's at the heavier weight class. He's not. It's just like I don't see what advantages Brian Norman Jr. brings to the table other than he could
Power.
possibly catch him and knock him out.
A snapping left hook.
I mean, if he throws a left hook and catches, I mean, Devin would be dumb to ever get hit by a left hook again after what Ryan did.
Hey man, all habits die hard, man. We'll see. We'll see if Devin cleans that up. Because that should have never happened. I had Devin winning that. I had Devin winning that fight. It came down to the last 3 rounds, really, because people always have like the how do I say this? They have amnesia when it comes to boxing, especially with the knockouts. All they remember is him getting knocked down like 3 or 4 times, right? But they didn't see Devin like really like putting punches together. You know,
Oh,
uh,
you thought
landing
wait,
on
wait, hold on.
Ryan.
You
What's
you
up?
thought you thought Devin won that fight?
Devin was pretty much leading, but then I think up to like midway to the fight, that's when all hell broke loose. Is what I'm saying. But even in those knockdown rounds, right? Outside of that, right? Devin was doing work. He was, bro, just not as much as he would like to, you know. So it really came down to Ryan winning the championship rounds. That 10 and 11 shit, that was all Ryan. The knockdowns were a huge factor in gaining in catching on to Devin, if you think about it. But that's all people remember is the knockdowns. They don't think about anything else. That's what's wrong with these casual fans.
Right. Um, I mean, Devin definitely had good rounds. Like, I'm not saying that in that fight he didn't have good rounds. I had him losing the fight.
Right.
But I mean, you could argue that Devin may have won more rounds than Ryan, but then when
Hmm.
you add the knockdowns into the
Yeah.
point system, he lost.
So subtraction. Yeah.
So I could see that argument, but I mean, you could say that it was like 7-5 for rounds for Devin. But
Right.
again, when you add them 10-8 rounds in there, Devin don't. There's no
Nah,
chance that he wins.
nah, mathematically he's out of it. You know,
Yeah,
it came to me. It came down to the championship rounds. You know, um, and that was pretty much all she wrote. You know, Devin won the last round, but it was too late. Yeah,
but
I
that's what
think
I'm talking
you
about. Think about that.
right,
Think about that.
right.
Going into the 12th round, he had lost the 10th and the 11th, right?
Hmm.
Prior to that, he had been dropped at least 5 times. And he comes back and rallies in the 12th round to win the 12th round. That's
Hmm.
hard. That's
It is.
pure drive to come back late, knowing that you're down, knowing that you probably cannot win, and still try to win in that 12th round. I don't think Brian Norman Jr. can do that.
Mm. We'll see, man. I can't wait to that fight, man. Because I heard so much shit talk between those fans, man, and it's like it's toxic, but it's fun though. At the same time, um, I'm looking forward to it, man.
The thing
But
about
yeah, man.
Devin is
Yeah.
Devin has to stay at 147. He cannot go up another weight class. He'll lose at 154. But at 147, I think he'll reign supreme. I don't see nobody at 147 that can beat him.
Mm-mm. No, yeah, no.
Not if he stays on the back foot. If he just plays keep away and jabs and what
Yeah.
people like to call running, he wins. He beats everybody. Now, Devin goes up to like 154, fights like Fundora, Bakaram, fighters like that. Oh, he getting
Mm.
stopped.
No. Yeah.
He too. Ryan needs to be. I mean, excuse me, Ryan. Devin needs to be bigger than you. He needs to be longer than you. He needs to be taller than you. He needs to be bigger than you. If he goes up to 154, all them dudes are going to be taller, and they're all going to be
Yeah,
way bigger than him.
all those weight, all those height and weight event. Nah, it's not there for you, man. Because they can rehydrate to where you going. You know.
Yeah, like
Yeah, man.
he
But
he
that,
he
yeah,
he loses the size advantage at 154. That's where everything changes.
yeah. I mean, you saw how you performed at lightweight and super lightweight. Like, yo, he was magic, yo. He was like fucking Sugar Ray Leonard, bro. But when you go up to like, I think Ryan was like um the canary in the coal mine. Like you're like, yo, bro, you don't have the size advantage that you have. He's the same size as you, the same age, and he's putting hands and feet on you, bro. That wasn't supposed to happen, but hey, I respect his tenacity.
Well, it
That's
wasn't just
what.
that. It was also the
Yeah.
fact that he fought stupid. He went in. So here's the problem with Devin. And you've seen Devin literally walk up to fighters after fighting and be like, "How was my power? How was my power? Was my power good? Was it good? Did you feel it?"
Mm,
The thing
yeah.
about this is Devin, and I think this prior to the Ryan loss, he wanted to be a knockout artist. He thought he was a power puncher. He thought because Devin's not like Shakur. Like now, Shakur recently has gotten in there where he's mixing up in the pocket and still not getting hit a lot. But regardless of that, Shakur was more of a I just stay on the outside and I outbox you. And if I beat you up, I beat you up. If I get you hurt, then I'll put you away. Devin, throughout his entire career, regardless if he's beating you on the outside, he'd always get in the pocket and trade with the fighters every single time, like clockwork. He'll trade with you. But the problem with Devin is you got two bunny paws. They're just soft. They don't hurt. You're not knocking nobody out. You're not stopping nobody. You're not hurting nobody. And that's okay. But you got to do what you can do. Don't try to be something you're not. He thought he was a fucking hound dog, and he's the rabbit in the situation. You supposed to
Yeah.
run. Them dogs will eat you. You
Yeah.
don't have the power.
It's like it's like, bro. He tried to be pretty boy Floyd, but you're more like Money Mayweather, bro. You're on the back foot.
But even with Floyd, even when you compare like Devin to Floyd, I believe Floyd had knockout power. I believe he did. It's just he was so defensive oriented. He never
Right.
took advantage of his power because as Pretty Boy Floyd, he was stopping people. But the thing about Floyd is When he popped somebody in the face, they stopped dead in their tracks every single time.
Yep.
Nobody walked through Floyd. Not one
Mm,
fighter ever. Not even
no.
Canelo. Not even
No.
Canelo could walk through his punches. He was stopping
Mm-mm.
Canelo dead in his tracks. So
Yeah.
I believe Floyd had a lot of power. It's just, you know, he didn't have one punch power, but he had
No, it was
very
accumulative.
respectable power. Whereas
Volume.
Devin is just like the little squeak toy every time he hits you. Whoop, 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 whoop. It's just making little
Yeah.
puff noises. It
It
doesn't
is.
hurt.
It's like that's what I mean that he's not that entertaining. It's like is he fighting spurts? It's like I and then he's taking his sweetest time to build up his offense, which it's never gonna come because he's gonna rely on his lateral movement and he's gonna clinch to stall, and prevent his opponents from fighting on the inside. That's what he did to Loma.
Well, that's how he's supposed to fight all his fights, in my opinion. That's how he wins. That is
Yeah.
his. That is who he is. That is his strengths. If he fights any other way, he'll rack up more. Well, technically, he don't have any losses, but
Yeah.
we all saw what happened. And in my
Yeah.
opinion, he didn't beat Loma. Even though I got
Same.
him, even though I got him beating Brian Norman Jr., I don't. There ain't nobody gonna
Yeah.
convince me that he beat Loma. Loma,
Bro, listen. When he look, the next fight was against Prograis, right?
yeah.
Who could only fight one way. That's counter punching on the inside. You don't even have the footwork that Loma has. You don't have the punch volume. You're just like, oh, I'm gonna wait for my punch. My punch angle. Like I'm gonna wait for him to make a mistake, and Devin barely makes mistakes. He does, but barely.
But
And
Prograis
that,
is a perfect example. Prograis, I think Brian Norman Jr. fights a lot like Regis,
mm,
and that's going to be the issue. I think they're very similar in the way that they approach a fight. The only difference is Brian Norman's a little bit bigger.
he's got to have look. Brian Norman has to have some of that Loma recipe, the footwork. That is key to closing the gap on Devin because Loma was on him all night.
When have you seen Brian Norman display a
I'm not
mental?
saying that I never. No, I'm not saying that I've seen him before. I'm saying that he needs that. He
No,
needs to add
I
that.
agree
But
with you. I'm just saying, what fight could we
right,
look to make us think that he can get it overnight?
yeah, I really can't tell you. But I'm just saying that in order to get to him, you got to be able to use footwork too. It's not just throwing hands and shit like following him. Nah, nah, nah. You got to be able to cut the ring off on him. Take away the escape routes. Pin him to the corner. Box him in. He's trying to outbox you. You box him in. You're an in. There's like eventually you're gonna have to take it to the inside. You got to take the fight to him. As cliche as it sounds.
Look at that. Buddy bringing up the Boca Chica fight. We was talking about that earlier. Hey,
Yeah,
Bobby,
man.
welcome to the conversation. That's why I was saying I don't have no faith in Brian Norman Jr. I believe he is
Hmm.
a quitter because in that Boca Chica fight, for the first time in his entire career, and the only time where things were not going his way, where he was getting beat up, he looked for a way out. He saw that I could be like, oh, I'm blind. I can't see. I'm Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder. And then he got out of the fight without having to take the loss that he would have got. That's why I think he's a quitter. Because real fighters find a way to win. They don't look for a way out. And in my opinion, he faked. I can't prove it. I cannot prove it. The dude could have seriously been blind. I just don't believe he was. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I could be 1,000,000% wrong. I can't see what he sees, and I'm not in the fight when he's in the fight. You know what I mean? But to me, it just looked like a fighter who was looking for a way out. And that's why I have no faith in him. And that's why I don't think he's going to be able to combat Devin Haney on the back foot, just being touched. Boop, 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 boop. I'm gone. Boop, boop. I'm gone. Boop. I'm gone. Boop, 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 boop. I'm gone. Brian going to come in slow. I mean, he don't even have the speed of a Ryan Garcia. His punches are telegraphed. I mean, what would you say Brian Norman Jr.'s best one is? Jinsaki?
I would say the Santo Leon fight.
Yeah, I guess because he was supposed to lose that fight. I guess you could say that's the best fight because he
Yeah,
was in there to lose.
I mean, Top Rank was expecting him to lose, but change of plans. That was
Yeah.
one of the coldest stoppages too. The way he posed on him, man. Damn. But anyway, Tony,
Ooh.
I'm gonna head on out, bro, because my battery's about to die, man. It was good talking to you, bro.
You
Hope you
too,
enjoy
like
the fest
always.
tomorrow, bro. Thank you. Stay safe, bro.
All right, you too. Appreciate you coming through.
Bye.
Oh, hey. Damn, he left. I think Virtuoso has a channel. Hold on. Let me hop on YouTube real fast, guys, before we continue, because I'm pretty sure. Damn, I wish he was still here. Hold on, we gonna look. Let me go up. I know he typed. Where did he type? Hold on, guys. I want to post his channel so y'all can sub to him. Yep. Well, shit, he hasn't dropped a video in forever. Damn. No, these are all. None of these are all boxing videos. Fuck it. Y'all can still sub to him. Here you go. The gentleman that you just heard on here is Virtuoso. Y'all can sub to him at this channel. He hasn't made a video in like 11 years or something crazy like that. But follow his channel. I don't know why he doesn't have a boxing channel. Very knowledgeable. We don't always agree, but even when we disagree, he always comes with an educated reason to his thought process. So check out his channel. You can subscribe to him there. You need to start doing boxing videos, Virtuoso. You need to pick up my slack. I rarely ever do videos anymore. I drop a video once every 2 months. Um, so you should pick up my slack, start doing it. Definitely have the knowledge for it, and you can keep the conversation flowing. But yeah, y'all, show Virtuoso some love. If enough people sub to him, maybe y'all will force him into making boxing videos. But we probably gonna wrap it up here because it's after 2 a.m. If you haven't done it yet, hit that thumbs up. Into the people in the chat, let me know y'all's final thoughts. Who y'all got on both these fights? Who y'all got against Ortiz and Lubin? And who y'all got against Haney and Norman? I'm gonna let the people in the chat say who they have, and then we're gonna end the live stream. And shout out to Big Dog Willie. He was supposed to come on here and hate, but he never showed up. So shout out to him for saying he was gonna hate, but never hated. All right. Doesn't look like anybody's typing anything. So to recap, here we go. The first fight. Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin. Who do I believe wins? I think Ortiz is going to beat him on the scorecards. I want Erickson Lubin to win, but I don't think he can beat him in Virgil Ortiz's backyard. And I think Virgil Ortiz is strong enough that he can make it to the final bell. So I got Virgil Ortiz by decision, but I want Lubin to win. I can see a world where Lubin wins, but he doesn't win. In other words, robbery. But outside of that, the Hanos versus Norman. I got Devin schooling this dude, schooling him. I got Devin beating him with ease. I got it being just another day at the job, going home without sweating or working hard. I got Devin walking through that fight so easily. He was supposed to give up his source. What source? I want Virgil and I know a lot of people want Brian Norman Jr. to win because they don't like Devin. I don't really care for either one of them. So I'm neutral. I think Brian Norman Jr. talks a lot of shit, and I think Devin talks a lot of shit. I think Brian Norman Jr. is a more down-to-earth person, and I think Devin's going Hollywood. So I can see where people relate with Brian Norman Jr. more than Devin. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, like Brian Norman Jr. has never done anything for me to say I don't like him. Let's just say I don't know enough about him to really cheer for him or not cheer for him. Tank sources? What do you mean? What about Tank? I haven't even talked about Tank all night. he was supposed to give up his source, Tank source. I haven't even talked about Tank Davis all night. Here's what I would say about Tank Davis, if that's what you're talking about. I reserve all judgment until all facts come out. I'm not going to victim blame the female, and I'm not going to say Tank Davis is guilty. When all the facts come out and the truth is revealed, then I will deem my judgment where it deserves to go. But until somebody is proven guilty, I don't believe it is right to say they are guilty. And I don't believe it's right to say somebody's lying until they've been proven to be a liar. So again, I'm not saying Tank's guilty, and I'm not saying the victim is wrong because I don't victim blame. So we'll see how it unfolds in court. We'll see if it makes it to court. We'll see if it causes civil issues, which is looking like it is, or if it causes actual legal issues, which it may or may not. We'll see if there's anything in it. But again, the he said, she said, the TMZ shit, I don't buy into it until I actually see definitive proof that goes either way. I don't like the fact that Tank got his fight canceled with Jake Paul. I didn't like the fight with Jake Paul. I thought it was stupid. But again, unless you're proven guilty, I don't feel like you should be treated like you're guilty. And the fact that they canceled the fight is ridiculous to me. It's not like Tank went to court and was found guilty. That gives reason to stop a fight. But to stop it on the fact that he might be is insane to me. Too many times we see people get destroyed by allegations and then it comes out to be not true. But the damage is already done because everybody likes to place judgment on people before the facts come out. You should allow the facts to come out before you try to take somebody's biggest payday, before you try to not allow them to make money. Let the facts come out first, then give the justified judgment. But until then, it's ridiculous to me. He should be fighting Jake Paul in 2 weeks because he's not going to court in 2 weeks. He's not going to be found guilty in 2 weeks. And then when it's all said and done on the hypothetical, what if he's innocent? So now the fight got canceled for nothing? And if he's guilty, the fight does him no good because he'll probably end up in jail. So again, I don't place judgment on people until all facts are out. That's all I'm going to say on Tank. Let me read these couple of comments and then we're going to wrap it up here. Some people are saying the fight canceled because Tank was going to bet on himself and going to KO Paul. But shout out to I mean, technically you can't bet on yourself, but you can get somebody else to bet on you. I don't know. I don't know if Tank Davis could knock out Jake Paul. I don't even know if Tank Davis could beat Jake Paul. People can say what they want about Jake Paul not being a real boxer, but at the end of the day, the dude trains every single day. The dude trains seriously to be a fighter. Now, how good is he at heavyweight or cruiserweight? That's yet to be seen. But again, Tank Davis isn't a heavyweight, and he sure as hell ain't a cruiserweight. So with the significant height difference, strength difference, weight difference, it gives Jake a shot. Doesn't mean he would beat Tank. Doesn't mean he could even go 12 rounds with Tank. But it definitely gives him the shot. Hey, regulator. Bruh. I ain't even going to talk shit on here. I was going to talk shit on the other side because he is connected. But gosh damn, regulator. All I'm going to say, and you going to know what I'm talking about, and then I'll talk about on the other side, your boy a fucking hobbit. And I ain't even shooting shots, but God, I was surprised. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, there's nothing wrong with being short. There's nothing wrong with being short. But I was surprised, dude. I didn't know. Because he made Buddy look like he was 6'8". Like, I was like, gosh damn, did this dude grow another 6 inches in height? Is he 6'8"? But that's all I'm gonna say to that. Cause I'm not gonna shoot shots. I was just gonna fuck with you because I know that's your boy. But I ain't got no beef with that dude. So we're not gonna talk about him on this side. I was just like I said, I was just gonna clown you because that's your boy. But I ain't got no bad nothing towards him. I just thought that shit was hilarious. Like, gosh damn, I was not expecting for somebody to be below somebody's shoulder. Like, might have been below his chest. I just wasn't prepared. I wasn't ready for that. I was not ready for that at all. Like, I mean, I ain't the tallest motherfucker out there, but gosh damn, I'm not even in your club. But damn it, we looking eye to eye. We can both reach shit off the top shelf. I might not be in your club. I might be a hair away, but we both grabbing shit from the same fucking shelf. Damn it. Bruh. It ain't no, hey, excuse me. Can you help me get this off the top of my refrigerator? Ain't none of that going on with me and you. We can see. If we can't see over the top, we can reach the back of it. Nah, we ain't talking. Well, hey, it looked like Shaq standing next to Tank. That's what it looked like. But we're not talking about Tank or Shaq. But that comparison is exactly how it looked. And I was just, I was like, gosh, damn. Like, whoa. Let me do an interview with you so I can look like a giant. Gosh, damn. Motherfuckers be coming to me, man. How tall are you? 6'4"? 6'4"? You 6'4"? I'll be like, yeah, I'm 6'4". Yeah. Bruh. Oh, man. Bruh. 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 But it don't matter. It don't matter. I see why y'all are homies, though. Y'all the same height. Think about who you really are. Y'all looking eye to eye. Tony, you got a rematch? Pigeon and the flex off? Bruh. I haven't even thought about Pigeon in like years. I haven't even been over there to like Mad Chad's channel. You know, that takes me back. And I'm about to get off this live because I got to take a shower. I got to go to bed. I went to the gym late tonight. These muscles got to stay swole. But anyways, it takes me way back to Unrivaled Boxing, to Mark's channel, thinking about Pigeon. I don't know what happened with Mark. The dude just disappeared. The lady who will not be named, she called him racist. And it was like after that, he just fucking ran away from YouTube. And I don't know why. Now, I had my fallout with him. We was cool. But there's another channel. Every time he was on his panel, Buddy wouldn't bring me up. So it was like, since you picking sides, I can't fucks with you no more. Even though that other dude is racist as fuck. Super racist dude. Like, I would say that from the jump. What's his name? BTB? I think that's the channel. BTB? Some shit like that. Dude said he's like Puerto Rican or something. No, not Puerto Rican. He's Filipino. I want to say that's what it is. I don't really remember. They be doing like call-ins way back. And dude, every time me and him on Mark's channel, or I really shut down his whole panel, I told him that Crawford was gonna knock out Sean Porter, and they was all like, "You're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about." Blah 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 blah. Yeah, y'all bitches was wrong, and I was right. Crawford stopped that ass. But that dude, whoever he is, racist as fuck. And every time he would get on Mark's panel, Mark would not let me up. So that's why I quit fucking with Mark. But I ain't got no ill will towards him. He had a great channel, very knowledgeable. BHTB, Filipino. No, I don't. Fuck. Now you gonna make me Google this shit whenever I think it's BTB boxing or some shit like that. Let me look. I'll know it if I see it. BDA boxing. It's BDA. That's the channel. Buddy racist as hell. Fuck that guy. He a fucking little hobbit in real life too. But anyways, I will never. Mark is yeah, he is. He is an encyclopedia when it comes to boxing and knowledge. Like on the history of the sport, you're not fucking with that dude. And his memory when it comes to this shit is like photographic. It's like straight photographic memory, dude. Like he don't forget shit. So like you have to beat that motherfucker on technicalities. Cause if you fucking slip and say any type of misinformation, Mark will destroy you. You better study for that dude in a debate. You better be well read. So I give him all the credit in the world, but that's why I fell out with him. And I quit going over there before he ended his channel. But it seemed like he let old girl just like stop him. And that's crazy. Because we all know Mark wasn't that way. We all know Mark wasn't racist. We all know Mark didn't say nothing crazy like that. So I don't know why he let her stop him, because whenever she shot shots at me, I ethered her. And I was right. Time proved me right. I told her where she got in all in her feelings and her panties got in a bunch and turned into a thong. I told her ass. AJ was one loss away from retirement. That motherfucker got stopped by Daniel Dubois. He ain't even talking about fighting no more. He done. So time proved me right. Time proved me right like it always does. I love time. Time be a motherfucker. Bruh, time be a motherfucker that be on my side. That's why my ass don't age. Because time on my side. Father Time ain't even affected me. You know what I mean? We still look like we look. We don't look much different than whenever I started this damn YouTube channel like 10 years ago. We don't look much different. Time. They say time don't wait for no man. Time walks side by side with me. Because gosh damn it, time always be proving me right. It always be proving me right. But you know, I don't be down for the YouTube beefs. So, you know, I could have brought it up. I could have made a video, even though she shot shots at me and I shot him back. But I don't keep that shit going. You know, you just stay over there with your little boy Shane, and y'all do what y'all do. Me, I'm gonna keep it pushing because I don't look back. Anyways, I digress. I think we're gonna end it here. Appreciate everybody coming through. Appreciate Big Dog Willie. Although I was hoping he was gonna jump on the panel to hate. I was waiting for it, but he gone. Like I don't know what happened. Outside of that, that's really all I got. So y'all have a good night. If you haven't done it yet, hit that thumbs up on the way out. And if you really like what I've said, subscribe to the channel. Now, what I will tell y'all, the new subscribers, I've been very inactive. I really have not been dropping a lot of videos lately. I'm about to drop a shit ton of review videos that got nothing to do with boxing. Absolutely nothing to do with boxing. But you see the name, Tony's Reviews. So it's been a long time since I've done review videos on this channel. We're going to hit some reviews. And always we a boxing channel first. But sometimes, you know, when it gets monotonous, you got to sidestep. And that's what I'm doing. Like Devin Haney's going to be sidestepping on Brian Norman Jr. I had to sidestep for a minute. We're going to get these views up. We're going to get these dubs from these review videos. Then we're going to slip right back into boxing. Then the people who sell to me, they're like, I thought this was a review channel. This motherfucker talking boxing. Like it's a one-stop shop. We got boxing and reviews. But I digress. Moving on from here. Y'all have a good night. Nah. It's product reviews. I enjoy when you on other people's panels. Yeah, that's all I've really been doing lately is hopping on other people's panels just because I ain't gonna lie. I like jumping on other people's panels because sometimes I get sick of hearing myself talk. So, like when you on other people's panels and there's other people on them panels, you could take breaks. You could take breaths. You can relax. Right now, I ain't been able to relax. I've been on my toes the whole time. And I think I like the role of co-host better than host. Even though I do make a good host, I like co-host. Why? Because sometimes I can push the weight off on other people. That's why I need to get I got to get more people on the panel so they can be doing the heavy lifting while I just sit back. I live heavy in the gym. I ain't trying to live heavy on YouTube. Oh man. But anyways, like I said, I've been trying to get off of here for like the last 15 minutes. Let me go ahead and actually get off here. Y'all have a good night. If y'all haven't done it yet, follow the channel. And if you don't mind, hit the thumbs up. Even if you don't, subscribe to the channel because it just bumps me up in the algorithm whenever I do one of these once in every couple of months impromptu lives. Again, on the way out, before I exit, I got Virgil Ortiz winning by decision. Although I would like to see Lubin win. And yeah, I don't like that dude, Iceman. I think that guy's racist. And then I don't mean to keep calling people racist here at the end, but hey man, shoe fits, it fits. Then I got Devin Haney by total embarrassment over Brian Norman Jr. I don't even think it's gonna be competitive. But hey, Brian could prove me wrong. He's in the same city I'm in. Brian Norman, prove me wrong. On that, I'm out.